Hello and welcome to the Womanwhy podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to read my blog post that started in January 2018, which was about 3 years ago. And I'm going to read each one that I publish weekly up into the present. And the one I'm going to read today is called To Be Nude or Not to Be Nude. That is the question. And I published this on February 18th, 2018. So on Instagram today, at Girl Unfiltered, asked the question of how celebrity nude selfies affect young women's self-esteem. So I asked my 19-year-old daughter this question as she was getting ready to go out with friends. What? She said as she looked through my walk-in closet to borrow some jeans. I asked her again, do celebrity nude pictures affect your self-esteem? Do you have jeans in a lighter wash, Mom? She asked as she pushed my clothes to the side on the hanger in search for the perfect wash. I asked her the question again as I thought that I might as well find out from the source to see if seeing naked celebrity women was having a negative effect on her. I don't have time, Mom, she said as she walked briskly past me back to her own closet. I didn't get the answer from her, but I can tell you my opinion of it. There is so much in the media right now about objectifying women and what is appropriate and what is not. It is a long overdue discussion. I am glad that it is being discussed and thought about. But we are asking the wrong question. The question shouldn't be about what is the appropriate amount of nudity for women. The question should be, do you believe that every person, man or woman, has the right to do with their body what they want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else? If you answer yes to that question, then none of these other questions matter. The discussion shouldn't be about what women are doing with their own bodies of their own free will. The discussion should be about people that are taking this freedom away from them. There are a lot of ways to silence someone, take away their voice, and make them feel bad. I don't think any of these ways include seeing a naked selfie of a woman posted by her on her own social media account. If you don't want to see it, don't look. There are a lot of images out there, and we all have to be careful what we pay attention to. This current women's awareness movement shouldn't be about that. It should be about empowering women and changing the dialogue and language around how we talk about women being silenced. For example, why is domestic violence less of a crime than assault and battery? It is a man beating up on a woman, and it is worse because that woman is getting beat up by the very person who is supposed to love and take care of her. It would be better to be beat up by a stranger, in my opinion, or of course not beat up at all. But the language of domestic violence softens what is really happening. A woman is getting assaulted and possibly murdered, but if it is by her husband, that is somehow not as bad. It is another way our society has disregarded violence towards women and added shame and confusion to an already confusing, shame-filled situation. By using certain language like domestic, it minimizes the trauma this woman is suffering, not to mention the emotional damage. A woman owns her body and does not deserve to get beat up, silenced, or shamed by anybody. We should change this minimizing language in how we talk about violent situations. We should also stay focused on what the real issues are. And we as women shouldn't be shaming other women if they decide to show off their bodies. If we do, we are doing the very thing that is part of the problem. The fact that a woman's naked body can still spark such a high emotional charge shows women's innate power. Why do so many people care? Because there is immense power in every woman's body. That power is what is taken away when a woman is abused, shamed, and silenced. The discussion should be about the people that try and take that power away and how wrong that is. It is not theirs to take. Women will be truly empowered when women truly own their own bodies and their own decisions about what they do with their bodies, are respected and protected. Not giving away my power is a focus of my journey in life right now. There are constant messages in my daily life of how I should let someone else tell me what I need or what I should be doing with myself. It is not easy to hold my ground sometimes and keep my power, but what I've realized is that we must be very valuable because everybody wants it. So this was my blog post, about 3 years ago, about owning my power, which is still huge with me, of course, and part of my journey that will never change or waver. this was around the time, like I said, of the Time's Up movement. So there was a lot of talk about women's bodies, and, a lot of, people were trying to blame women for putting, these pictures out there, and maybe that's, enticing the men to, act upon being harmful to them. But this is also part of what I was going through in my own life, where I felt so, I had not a good relationship with my body. I mean, I used to work out every single day for hours a day. And mainly I was doing that because I didn't want to feel anything. And my husband was being disrespectful to me, which I kind of knew, but I was in such a cloud of arguing with him and being so exhausted and trying to find my place. There were so many other things going on in my head. I didn't realize how his treatment of me was really also bringing me down. So part of me, talking about power of women is really talking about my own power and how lost I felt and how neglected and basically abused I felt, that I wasn't being listened to, that sexually I didn't feel like it was a back and forth between us, even though I had tried to get it to be a more intimate level of, giving and touching and everything. Once again, 3 years ago, I was a completely different person. This is a different time. And now, I have much more control over my body. It is still, I'm still a work in progress, because my body has always been objectified since even I was a little girl. So it is something with me. I always think of it as kind of like a disease. It's something I always have to be aware of and maintain my outlook on my body. Some people have physical disease, cancer or something like that. I have a disease that was kind of given to me, which is people taking advantage of my body, objectifying me at a very young age, which messed with my mental health and made me look at my body like it really wasn't my own. My body was just there to please other people or to be the peacemaker or to make someone feel better or to take someone's shame away. Basically, that's how I viewed my body, how I was instructed to view my body by my parents and by the people around me. So it has taken me a long time to come out of that. And of course, I will never fully, have that super healthy look of my body because of my past, but it is something I work on every single day and something I just have to keep in top of mind when I'm interacting, obviously, especially with men, of being protective of my body, making sure I have enough energy, making sure no one's taking that, sexual, physical power away from me, and just being really mindful of that. It's something that I work on to this day. So hope you enjoyed that post and discussion. And you can find me on Instagram at womanwhy. You can sign up for my email list at womanwhy.com. And I hope you have a really good evening. Thank you.